Can a cargo e-bike be super cool? The answer is yes, but it's a custom project that you can't buy for yourself. This is a VVOLT custom cargo bike that they put together. The employees wanted to see if they could make it cool, and they certainly did. So VVOLT is out of Portland, Oregon. They're the official bicycle supplier of the Portland Pickles baseball team. And we're going to take a look at a couple of bikes, including a prototype at the end, but we're going to start off with the Slice Lite, which is a cargo bike. Some of that stem again, that is super cool.
Yeah, just the stem, go to race mode. I got somewhere to be. My back hurts a little bit. Bring it up into comfort mode.
Nice.
I want to share with my spouse. They're a little shorter. Drop the saddle down.
Oh, so that has a built-in dropper.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
That's an option, yeah. Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. We've got the included cargo module as well. 500 watt-hour battery. 550 watt peak motor, lower power throttle. These bikes encourage active pedaling in transportation and cycling around. So not really meant as like a throttle on demand bike. It's meant to pedal.
Right, but it does have one there if we want it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then 36 volt?
36 volt, yep.
And then torque sensor?
Torque sensing, yep. Torque sensing in the bottom bracket. Gates carbon belt drive. $19.99.
Is that, how big is that? I'm trying to look at the
180 mil rotor.
180, okay.
Yep. And if you put like a backpack in here and you want to secure the load, you can bring the securing bar back.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Designed for a couple of grocery bags.
And the basket is really indicative of the care they take in every aspect of this bike. You can see there's mounting holes in it that you can use to put a water bottle cage and hooks to, and do all kinds of luggagey cargo things to the basket. The gear ratio is 50/22, which is good for hills, and up to about 15 miles an hour. Integrated brake light, tail light in the back. And then does it have it has a headlight up at the front.
Yeah. Headlights up front.
And they do call it a light cargo bike, meaning it only weighs 52 pounds. Some other cargo bikes, like the big ones, can be over 100 pounds or 80, 90 pounds. So it's lighter, easier to ride. Here we go over some bumps. And there's a 20-inch tire in the front, 20/3, and then the rear is 24/3. So 3 is pretty fat, and that gives you a little bit of extra cushion and suspension, considering that this doesn't have front or rear suspension built into it. The fat tire definitely makes a difference both in traction on and off the road and also in comfort over the bumps, and you can definitely feel it on this bike. And the hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors work great. Brake check. The single-speed carbon fiber Gates belt drive has 50 teeth in the front and 22 in the back, and that's good for about 15 miles an hour before you feel like you're really spinning too fast. The advantage of that is you can climb hills really well with it. The disadvantage is when it gets up over 15 miles an hour. You can still get up to 20, but you really are doing the Fred Flintstone feat if you're trying to keep up with it and help it out over 15 miles an hour. I think that's acceptable for what this bike is intended for. If you're carrying heavy loads and going up and down hills, you definitely want a lower gear to help you get around rather than being able to fly fast but having to stand up on the pedals every time you get to a bump. I was able to get going fast enough on the test track to be admonished by the security guard who was trying to stop people from ripping around.
So none of that, and if they skid any tires, they're out.
Slow down.
So overall, I really like it for what it is. It's a mini cargo bike that's a lot less of a pain to ride around town than a big, giant, heavy one. Performs well, and everything on it just works well. They used good components, and I thought they did a great job with it. So let's go back to the corral and see what other bikes they have. VVOLT makes a couple of bicycle-style bikes. There's a Alpha bike, which is a rear hub drive motor bike, and then this is the Centauri II, which is going to be released in July 2024. So as I publish this video, they don't have it yet. This is a step-over frame version, but they also have a regular style frame, and you can see there is a suspension fork on this one. They said they're messing around with that and trying to perfect it right now, so I don't know if that'll be on the final one or not. You've got hydraulic disc brakes, of course, a bell, and then a big controller in the middle that controls everything, and you use your left thumb to control the controller. So this is a pedal assist bike that can go up to 26 miles per hour. There's a light in the back and then a big giant headlight in the front as well. They don't have the numbers for the Centauri II on the website, but this is what the Centauri I does. It has a mid-drive motor and a Gates carbon fiber drive, and this one has a 3-speed automatic transmission in the back. The tires are 27.5 by 2.4, which is big and squishy, so you get a little suspension out of the tires there. And I like that the handlebars are regular handlebars. Some of these bikes have a handlebar you can't swap, but this one, if you wanted to swap it, you definitely could, as long as the cables weren't too short. There's a look at the 3-speed automatic transmission on this bike. This is a test bike, so I'm not sure if they're going to put this into production or not, and there's a little plus and minus sign on there that you can use to change the shift point. So if you wanted to shift into second gear at lower RPM, you can change it or make it shift higher. And there's a good look at the carbon fiber belt drive on it, made by Gates. And of course, you get hydraulic disc brakes on the rear and on the front on this bike. So let's get it out on the road and just see if we can break it and just see how fast it goes and see what that automatic transmission feels like. That's what I'm most curious about. I have some single speed rear hub motor bikes like this, but I don't have any that have the mid drive and allow me to shift gears. So I'm really interested in seeing how that feels. Feels pretty good in the grass. For the front suspension is helping out a little bit. I can definitely feel it boinging around. I'm about 200 pounds, so I think that's the toughest part for them to get the suspension dialed in for the weight of the rider, or give them an option to be able to change it around on the fly depending on how much they weigh or who borrows their bike. And I should mention that on their bicycle style e-bikes, not on the cargo bike, but on the ones like this, they do offer different frame sizes. So if you're tall or short, you can actually get a bike that fits you. That's a huge plus. Some companies just make one size and you just kind of got to make your body fit it. But this, you can get a large or a small one as according to your height. And on my timid test drive, I can definitely feel it helping me out. The torque sensor is pretty gentle, so I have it in the top mode, and when you're pedaling gently in the top mode, you go slow, and then if I want to do an aggressive pass like that, I just give it more torque and it takes off. So that's what I love about torque sensor bikes. You can pretty much leave it in high mode and control the throttle with your legs, other than I'm going to do a brake check here at the end so the guy doesn't throw me out of the park. You gave me a warning last time. So around this corner, I'm just going to take it slow. Unfortunately, this is the best chance for a cornering test, and I kind of got to just make sure that I don't get my bike impounded and don't end up in the local slammer for violating their rules. But on the way back here, this is a real nice stretch. So we're going to see, this is acceleration test right here. So I stopped, and now I'm just hammering the pedals. And the really cool thing about this is I feel it at 17 miles an hour, it goes into second gear. And then when I get it up to 24 miles an hour and I feel like I'm spinning out of the gears, it chunks down into third, and I can actually help it at 24 to 26 miles an hour. So I can, if I wanted to get a workout, I could pedal it at that speed, get somewhere really fast, get some exercise. All right, this is full acceleration in turbo mode. Shift one gear, shift two gears, so I'm pedaling. And let's put it in slow motion so we can read the speedometer. You can see it says 24 miles an hour when it put me into third gear. So I'd love that. Like if you really want to hammer and go fast, you can. So if you like what you see here, use the link in the description to go visit them. Use the link to buy something too if you like me. And if you're in Portland, go visit them yourself in their shop and see all their bikes. There are more bikes than the ones I showed you that they have available. And looks like good quality stuff all the way around, built to last by people who love bikes.